A couple of years ago we visited VS Fisheries. It's got to be the most advanced carp farm in England. These guys are seriously passionate about producing some awesome looking fish. Last time we were here we looked at how they bred the fish and looked at some of the small fry. This time we're here to look at some slightly bigger ones.
That's right, Joe. So we're going to harvest this pond. We've prepped it up for you. We've lowered the level down over sort of 12 hours. It's got a 6-inch pipe at the far end there, which you can just see stood up. And what we're going to do is going to push the standpipe over now, and hopefully in about an hour's time the fish will be waiting for us down the deep end there. It should be spot on. We've got some good ones in here. I think you'll like them.
Excellent. Okay, mate. Well, just quickly then, what sort of size are we looking at?
Okay, well, yeah, it's $1 million question. We put the fish in here about this time last year, so we haven't really seen them since then. So we put some fish in that were a pound, about 200 of those, so they would have been like that, you know, pounders, and hopefully they'll be 4 or 5 pounders. And then we've also got a few bigger ones in here that would have gone in at about 5 pounds, and hopefully they'll be about 10, 11 pounders, something like that. So there should be some nice fish in here, fingers crossed. You get to see a few swirls when you're feeding them, but apart from that, you don't really get an idea. We don't want to drain the pond midsummer, because at that time of the year the fish will be growing really quick, and if you lose a week of growing time you might lose a quarter of a pound of their weight increase.
Really, that much?
So really important, once the ponds are filled up and they're restocked for the growing season, just to let them get on with it.
Sounds quite exciting.
Yeah, no, it's good fun. It's the best moment. You know, you've been waiting for it all year, feeding them, you know, worrying about the water quality and the oxygen, and when you get to do a drain down, it's like, you know, that's the champagne moment of the business, really. It's good fun.
Superb. Right, let's crack on with it.
Yeah, let's go.
Right then, Simon, how does this drain down business actually work?
Okay, well, Joe, what we've got here is a standpipe, which is effectively the plug mechanism for the pond. And what I'm going to do in a moment is put this screen on it, and this will stop any of the fish getting sucked onto that pipe, because you can imagine when that's running and the water's going down that, like the bath, you know, down that plug hole, it's sucking quite hard, and if a fish gets stuck on that, it'll damage it, and potentially they go down the pipe. So we don't want that happening. So I'll put a screen on it, and I'm going to push it over to the side, and then the puddle that we've got left in this pond will drain away. It took about an hour. At the moment, Viv is with a couple of guys, Liam, Mark and Dave, getting the kit organised, the transport tank. So we'll get this pushed over, and then while that gives us, as I say, about an hour with the water to go down. We don't want to chase the fish around. You know, it's the less water they've got, the better, really. We want them just in a puddle to pick them out. So we try not to net them if we can help it. And they'll be coming out and up into the transport tank. So we want to have them all sat here in this last puddle of water around what will be the plug. So we'll put that on now.
Okay.
And, God, a bit breezy. You brought the wind with you today, Joe, didn't you?
It's milder though, isn't it? I shouldn't imagine this job's very nice to do when it's freezing cold.
It's, well, unfortunately, if you want to be a fish farmer or work at a fishery, a lot of the weather, you know, you've got to work whatever the weather, haven't you? But yeah, it's been a bit icy before Christmas. But yeah, it's warmish, isn't it?
Well,
it's just windy.
I shouldn't imagine that water's too warm though.
Oh, it's lovely, Joe, lovely. It's like being in the Maldives, to be honest. So there we go. So at the moment, the pipe's got some air in it, so it'll just gurgle a little bit. And down it goes. And then that'll say, that's probably about an hour's worth of water in there, maybe a little bit longer. You know, obviously it'll drain pretty much dry, so we need to make sure that we get the fish out when it gets to 10, 15 centimetres of water. So there's a bit of a bowl here. I'm kicking the odd one with my feet, so they're just here at the moment.
So just out of interest, mate, we've obviously just come out of one of the harshest winters ever.
Yeah.
Any problems with the ice?
We've been okay, to be honest, Joe, but we're quite fortunate because we have aerators on a lot of ponds, and that means that we can turn the aerators on and get some air sitting under the ice. And of course, because the water's really cold, it sucks the oxygen back in quite quickly. But it's really important to monitor it. So we go around in the winter when it's ice on the ponds. Every week we check the oxygen just to see what's happening. And most of the time the ponds are fine. This pond's been absolutely perfect through the winter. But a couple of the others with a bit more silt in them, where there's more leaves on the bottom, you've got more rotting going on, and that sucks up quite a lot of oxygen. So it's important to keep an eye on it. You know, you can't just sort of think, well, September, hang up the boots and we'll wait until after Christmas, because, you know, as obviously happened in a few places, you know, fisheries have turned over where the fish have suffocated under the ice. But we've been all right, thanks.
Excellent.
Good stuff. Right, let's go and find out what Viv's up to.
Cup of tea. Right, here we are with Viv. I haven't seen Viv before, but he's the other half of
Hi, Joe.
Fisheries.
How you doing?
You all right?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. Yeah, nice weather for it, but yeah,
Beautiful,
this is fish
isn't
farming.
it? Yeah,
so,
serious bit of wind today. No, you've been up here preparing some bits. What exactly?
Yeah, we've just got like the vehicles that we use around the farm, really, which we use to move the fish around. So we have these that solely stay on the farm, and then we've got separate delivery rigs that I take off delivering fish all over the country. So, yeah, we've got the transport tanks here. It's a little one. Which holds about 400 pounds of fish. It's amazing. There's only 400 litres of water in there. Like, it's a few bucketfuls, really. But what we do is you put the fish in at quite high levels, so stock them in there, and then they're almost like sardines, so they don't move, so they can't bash themselves about and stuff like that. And then the other tank on the trailer, like, we'll load some of the bigger fish in. So we're just going to grade through them, and then they're going to be stocked out into two other ponds on the farm to on grow for next year, and when they'll come out looking mightily a lot bigger and more impressive, really. So yeah, we're looking forward to this pond. As Simon said, I think it's a very nice pond of fish, so we should get up there and have a go.
Yeah, come on in.
Brilliant. All right, let's do it. Okay.
Well, it looks about right, doesn't it, mate?
That's absolutely perfect. So I've just brought the standpipe up, don't want any more water to go out, and those fish now are absolutely ready to be lifted out. So you can see the pond's drained pretty much down, and we run them up the bank in slings and then up to the holding tank.
So this is where we see people fall over in the mud.
This is where you fall over in the mud, fella. Go on, let's see if we can find some fish.
I can see a common.
So we've got two sets of fish in here. We've got some C3s, so that's 3 summers, and some C4s, and we'll just show you them now. The C4s, so this fish would have been about £5 last year.
Cool.
And I hope that's probably 10, 11 pound, I guess, maybe a bit more, but that's the sort of lovely big scales. And imagine that, 35 pound, that'd be all right.
Awesome.
So that's a C4, so that's had 4 summers.
Right.
And then the smaller jobs, like this one here, that's a C3, so that's 3 summers. So it's quite amazing to think that that fish in another year would be like that.
Wow.
Quite a big increase, isn't it? Yeah. So what we'll do now, Joe, is we'll get a few slings and we'll start ferrying these fish up.
It's exciting, isn't it?
It's all right, that's a few carp, isn't it? We don't even need to chuck a rod out. Perfect. Good to see carp soup at this time of year, definitely. So these are the C4s. Look at that fish, fella.
Cool, look at that linear. Lovely.
Right, aren't they?
I'm not fit at all. I'm the most unfit person you know.
Nice comment. Oh, look at the scaling on that one. Look at that, linear.
Wow. Can I take him home?
You can take that one home, of course you can. As long as you leave me a check. That'll look pretty good at 20 pound, wouldn't it? Here's one for you, Joe.
Whoa, look at that.
Oh, that is a bruiser. Cool,
Yeah,
the
look
tag.
at that. He's a proper character. Here we go then, another sling full. As you can see, this is what it's all about. This is what I was talking about. These guys really passionate about what they do, producing some awesome carp, and everyone's different.
Are you getting the hang of this, Joe?
God, I'm stuck in all the munger. Whoop. Oh, that was close. 2 absolute gems. Wonder where these will be heading off to. Somewhere in the country to give some anglers lots of pleasure.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Right, Viv, well, I've seen that part of the process. Now we're going to come up.
Yeah, no, well, I say it's getting a bit muddy up there, Joe, so you come to the nice end now. This is where we can appreciate
Before I
what they
fall
look
over.
like. Yeah, no, you've done brilliant, mate. But yeah, all we're doing, Joe, is sort of split them into 2 tanks now. So we've got the C4s in the green tank there. We've got 60 odd in there already. Belting fish up to 14 pound, I reckon, probably the biggest ones there. We go through them by hand, so it's a pretty slow task, but we want to produce the best. So just that little bit of extra care can make a world of difference. So like, just look, see if they've got all the fins are fine and the mouths are the right shape. There you go, like little belters like that. So just stunning little fish.
Pristine,
You just think,
aren't they?
they're just brilliant looking fish for the future. So yeah, we just split them up, and then these are going into bigger lakes. So I'm going, look at that, like that. Imagine that was probably about a pound. That's probably 5.5 pounds, something like that now, Joe. So
Wow.
between me and Simon over the years, we've sort of looked at all the different fish out there and sort of gone, right, these are the ones that we like. So
They're just all different, aren't they?
I say, and that's the thing. Like, everyone goes, oh, you want to produce all scaly fish, but the trouble is, if you caught fully scaled all the time, they wouldn't be so special, Joe. So that's why we try and do the leathers, the linears, like the lightly scaled ones, and then little scaly beasties like that just real give you a real mix of fish in the fishery, because a lot of the fisheries we supply are new fisheries, so they're starting from scratch, so they haven't got any originals or anything like that. So yeah, so we try and give them a real mixed bag of fish, and they love, well, hopefully they love them anyway. We do. So there we go. That one's going over there. Be nice if it wasn't quite so windy, Joe. But
Water blowing out of the
I was
tank.
going to say, that's incredible. Oh, beautiful. As the bin disappears down over the hill.
Losing buckets and everything.
See you in a year. Yeah.